All right, we're recording. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. Oh my gosh, I am so blessed to see so many of your faces. If you are brand spanking new to getting on these calls, I've already gone ahead and muted everybody, but just to give you an idea, there is a button in the bottom left that says mute. Make sure that that stays muted during the call, but if you do have questions, if you have amens, if there's something you want to share, anything, there is a chat bar that you can open up and you guys can talk with one another throughout the call, but I can also go back at the very end and just kind of dig through any of the thread to see if there's questions I can help navigate and answer that maybe people didn't get to. The other thing that you're going to want to take note of is I love having your video on because you guys, this is a virtual community, right? In general, it's virtual. So at least if I can see your faces, I feel like I'm not this crazy person just talking to myself, right? So it helps. I understand if you can't have your video on, but I do love seeing your faces the same way I'm sure you love seeing mine, or I so hope so. Before I share the screen, you guys, and get into what we're going to chat about tonight, I wanted to just talk about how we can do team calls better. And last week, if you were on the call last week, I got to give it up for you. You had so much energy. The thread, I mean, it was blowing up the whole time, which I love seeing. It like kind of makes me like squirrel moment, but I love seeing that because I know that you guys are engaged. I can tell that. Another way that I know when people are engaged is like if I can tell that you're taking notes, right? Because I believe that not just absorbing it through the ear, but also taking time to write out, if you can, things that are sticking out to you. Not only is it helpful in the moment as a learning tool, but you can go back later and read what you've written down as ideas, as best practices, as tips, etc. So definitely pen and paper is a best practice I would love to see from you guys. And then the other thing, and I started noticing this, when we get done with the calls, I always take a picture at the end and I share it on the team page, and I usually ask you guys to engage with it somehow, whether you share a takeaway or if you're sharing, you know, whatever it might be, right? Usually after the call, you'll expect to see our group picture on the team page, which is an opportunity for you to make everybody have a little bit of FOMO about not being on the call, right? The other thing I do is I share it on my Instagram story, and I usually talk about something relevant about what we learned about or what we talked about tonight, or something that just makes me thankful and grateful for this community. And I typically love to tag everybody that I can in that post. And what I've seen from you guys, which I love, is you share that back to your story. And a lot of you guys share it back to your story, and you share your own 2 cents too of what you learned from the evening and why you love this community as well. I love seeing that. Something I want to start seeing more of though, I can't do this because typically I'm the one speaking. But during the call, you guys, you are more than welcome to take video. Oh, I got my phone upside down. Take video of what's going on. Hopefully it's a good clip and it's not something offensive that I'm saying. You could take a boomerang or a video of your notes when you're done, like take a little boomerang of you flipping through your notes of what you learned on the call. You can also physically speak to the camera when the call is finished and say, you know, say, oh my gosh, this is exactly what my heart needed tonight. I don't know if that's what you're going to say, but you could say and speak, you know, to what you learned tonight on the call. Those are things that I see other coaches do when their coaches are leading calls, and many other ideas. But I just think it makes it more personal to you, so that when your followers are watching you, they're not just seeing that your coach posted a picture of the Zoom and then you shared it, but rather they're seeing you, like they're seeing you taking ownership of why you're stinking spending time with us tonight, right? So those are just a couple ways that I think we can just like take up our team calls just a notch, like a little bit hotter, a little bit higher, and make it something where your story allows you to showcase exactly why you get on these calls versus just sharing back what you're waiting for me to share. So my end goal for this, you guys, is stop waiting for me to share it. I want you guys to take the leadership of it. You share it, and then I can be like, oh my gosh, that was awesome. Let me reshare it to my story. I'd love to see that. Heck yes, look at all these faces on. I'm so excited. And yes, heck to the freaking yes that Katie literally enrolled yesterday. Hey girl, hey. And she is already hopping on these Zooms. Love seeing that, you guys. And yes, I'm loving seeing these faces that normally can't get on with this. Okay, enough of me on my soapbox about what I want to see you guys doing during these calls. Let me go ahead and share my screen. If I can, there's the share button. And we'll get to it. Just real quick announcements, you guys. This is not anything that you don't know, but if you didn't know, now you know, 10 rounds came out today. It is the newest workout from Joel Freeman, and it is available right now for coaches only. So what I've put together starting a week from today on Monday the 23rd, I believe. Yep, Monday the 23rd, I'm running a coach only test group called Total Knockout, TKO, Total Knockout, right? To go right along with anybody who is saying yes to starting and finishing all of 10 rounds with us, yeah? So a lot of you guys got your 10 rounds packs today and you're jumping in on that. And I love that. As the week goes on, if you have people who are interested in jumping on 10 rounds with you, they can absolutely join. The only disclaimers they need to join are tribe. They need to join Inspire Beauty. They need to become a coach. Remember when I talk about coaching, coaching isn't scary because we're all coaches. We're learning either, number one, first and foremost, how to coach ourselves, right? And 6 weeks of diving in and saying yes to a program is one heck of a way to learn how to coach yourself, right? So that is really the foundation of all of us on Inspire Beauty. But then the second level is if we feel comfortable coaching ourselves and we're ready, we start coaching others, right? But not everybody gets to that second level, and that's okay. So just because it is for coaches only, that doesn't mean anybody has to sell anything. That doesn't mean anything like that. Just make sure you're inviting people in to join you. This also goes right along, and I'm sorry, this is a little, I need to maybe make this a little smaller so you can see. This goes along with our Go Green March challenge. I hope you remember that this is still going on. We still have about half the month left of this, but whoever enrolls the most coaches or has the most combination of new enrollments / coaches who weren't active, reactive again, right? That also counts for you being enrolled in my book. Those are the two criteria. Signing new coaches in March and having coaches that are currently already your coach go from inactive to active will count as tallies for you. The most tallies, the most coaches you enroll in March, that person is getting a $50 Amazon gift card from yours truly. The only thing you can't buy on Amazon right now, you guys, is toilet paper. So I'm pretty sure this is a really great gift. You're going to want to go for it. And yeah. And then Charlie said earlier, he's like, you should really raise the bar because maybe they need to sign more coaches than you this month. So I don't know, guys. I don't want to be in the lead anymore. I want y'all to be pushing for this. And I really do. I really want to like see who coming down to the wire I can gift that $50 Amazon gift card. I don't want it to just be a given. You know what I'm saying? I want it to like really be a race to see who's going to get that. So hopefully that's a little incentive for you. Okay, that's it for announcements. Let's dive in. I have this on my heart, you guys. I've really been thinking about it, and especially with what's going on right now with coronavirus and just so much fear of the unknown in our world right now. A lot of us, if you're anything like me, are absolute control freaks. And so when you can't control the thing that you wish to control, whether that be your job or that be your schedule or that be, you know, who says yes and joins you for 10 rounds, whether or not you can control it, there's no control over that, right? I think moments like this teach us that we really aren't in control of it all. And we start to be grateful for the things that we do have, and not even the things that we do have control over, you guys. Because even though I'm sitting in this apartment and you're sitting in, you know, your house or your apartment or wherever you're at, that's still not yours. Nothing is yours. Everything is temporary while we're on this planet. And so I really believe it's what we do with the things we've been given while we're on this planet. And so there are a lot of people right now who are going to steer towards the fear. They're going to steer towards the worry. They're going to steer towards the doubt. And I don't believe that's us. There's also going to be a lot of people who, while steering towards those things and gravitating towards fear, worry, doubt, all that stuff, they're going to remove themselves from a positive community like our own that can lift them up. So I love that you're on the call tonight because this is already showing me that you want to be part of the community that's going to just empower you to be your best self in an environment right now that maybe isn't empowering you to do so, right? And so I really wanted to address who we are. I want to remind us who's our team, like what are we about? And so I've actually got some core values to share with you guys tonight that I've actually never, ever, ever put pen to paper and shared before. And I felt like right now was a really great time. So Inspire Beauty, you guys, it exists to inspire others to be the best version of themselves, mind, body, spirit. I'm sure you've heard me say something like that at some point, right? But our job is to inspire others to be the best version of themselves, mind, body, spirit. We do this through sharing our own authentic and unique journey. We boldly and fearlessly invite others along, utilizing this online community as a catalyst for change. And our main goal grammatical error there, is to lead others to healthier, happier, more fulfilling lives via our example. That main goal, you guys, I'm not sure if you know, but that's also taken from Beachbody's mission statement. Their mission statement is to lead others to healthier, happier, more fulfilling lives, right? And so I believe that that is also part of our goal. So 6 core values that I believe right now we need more now than ever. And I wrote them in ways where you can kind of capture them as thoughts, take a hold of them, and use them as actionable items every single day, okay? And I'm gonna be on the team page reminding us of how we can do this. But number 1 is it starts with me. I'm sure you've heard me say that before. I love to use it as a hashtag on our team page, but every time a launch comes out, I always say the same 4-word phrase, it starts with us. And at its finest form, it starts with me, right? Because I can say it starts with us, but I can't control any of you guys right now. I can only control myself. So it starts with me. We believe that we can only control our own behaviors and choices. Think about that. What are the behaviors in your life? What are the choices you make that you, ultimately, you have control over? And are you taking the road that you desire to go down, or are you ultimately making choices maybe based on the people you're surrounding yourself with or the circumstances in your life, right? Knowing this, you guys, we wake up every day as a living example of self-care. We long to see a world where everyone places self-care on their daily to-do list, and we recognize that it can't first begin if we don't lead the way. We will always show up as the best challenger in our groups and coach on our teams, regardless of anyone else's choices, knowing that our example ripples outward to inspire others. My friends, I am so blessed by the team we have today, but do you know what? When I enrolled as a coach 6 years ago and some change, guess how many people were on the team with me? 0. I mean, it was me, 1. It was just me, and it had to start with me. And I had to be the best challenger. I had to be the best version of myself on Instagram, on Facebook, on my social media. I had to invite people, and I'd get rejected. People would say no. People would say not right now. And I just had to keep going because I knew that eventually if I was the best challenger, if I was the best coach that I could be, then I would attract other challengers who wanted to be great. I would attract other coaches who wanted to be great, and it would ripple out further. I have this picture here with Amanda on my back because quite honestly, when I started my business, I didn't even know Amanda. Amanda was somebody who ended up finding my blog when 80 Day Obsession was coming out, and we met via the internet, right? And I consider her a dear friend of mine now. And what's even cooler is I see her coaches. I see like Annie, and I see other coaches like Elizabeth and Kelsey, and I see her team. And I adore them as if they were my own, but I never, ever, ever, you guys, would have met a single one of them if it didn't start with Amanda. And I had to meet Amanda first, and Amanda knew that person, and that person knows that person. So I can never, my reach stops with just me and my circle. But imagine how crazy far our reach will go when we all link arms and impact and influence our own circle without worrying about anybody else's. But just take care of your own, right? And that's what this is about. It starts with me. I always talk about it, like I said, with a launch. So what do you do with a launch? I had a lot of coaches asking, you know, how do I deal with this test group? How do I advertise this launch? How do I? You do it. You tell people, I'm starting this program on Monday. I bought this program today. This is why I did it in a time when most people wouldn't, because they're worried about spending money or they're worried about, you know, their future. I decided today that it starts with me and I'm going to take care of myself, right? And you explain why you did that. And then here's the kicker. You let people watch you do it for 6 weeks. And then they'll join you, right? But it starts with you. Okay, number 2. We pursue progress. My friends, we're in pursuit of progress over perfection because we know full well that perfection does not exist. Not at all. We're growth-minded. We believe that our only competition is who we were yesterday. On our team, we celebrate goal setting. We celebrate progress. I celebrate vision boards. I love seeing where you're casting yourself years from now. We celebrate trying new things that stretch and challenge us. We give ourselves the gift of time and consistency to result in lasting and impactful change. I put this side-by-side picture of myself, you guys. This is when my very first year as a teacher in Miami, Florida. This was my teacher pick. And then this is me now. And I put a side-by-side, a face-by-face, because this is progress. the person on the left versus the person on the right, man, I would never quit on that, ever. And so when you're having those times when you hit the wall, when you feel like your work's doesn't matter, it's not paying off, you're not hitting your goals, you have to remember that it's a journey and that we're in pursuit of progress, not perfection. We're in pursuit of a goal, not a deadline, right? And that the only way we can ultimately not achieve a goal is by giving up. If you have a health and wellness goal right now, the best way you don't hit that goal is by stopping. The best way you do hit that goal is by doing it, right? If you have a business goal right now, the only way you'll ever achieve that goal is by just not stopping. I am the tortoise in this business, my friends. No one can stop me. I am slow and steady, and I will win that race, right? And the coolest part about pursuing progress is when you get to that benchmark, whenever you get to that goal that you've set for yourself, when you finally get to celebrate the victory, all you're going to realize at the top of that mountain is that there's another mountain you want to go climb. And so you're never really there. Even when you get there, there's always another place, another destination that you want to go. And that is who we are. We pursue progress. We serve others well. I love this one, you guys. This one is about a year ago, I really started to think about the way our team could be servant leaders overall. And I believe it happens by giving more than we ever want to receive back. We believe that to whom much is given, so when you are given the gift of a full challenge group with 10 clients in it, or you're given the gift of a big team that you're in charge of leading, much is also expected of you. When you're given the people and the platform, there's an expectation now. So we take ownership and we take responsibility of our teams and our role as a coach. We believe in showing up for each other with time and resources. We believe that our job begins once someone says yes. So I don't sign challengers, you guys, just to let them go on their own health and wellness journey. My favorite part about Beachbody that's different than any other company, and if you're newer to Beachbody, like absorb this, let this sink in deep in your soul, is that if I am selling lip gloss with another company, our relationship is over the second you buy lip gloss from me. It's done. Go on your way. I'll talk to you in a year maybe if you need more lip gloss. But the coolest part about Beachbody and what we do in this industry is that my job begins when you purchase something from me. That's when the work starts. So a lot of times we get it twisted where it's like, oh, I hit Success Club, or I finally have somebody who said yes and they joined me. Cool. Now that's when the work begins. This is when you pour into them, right? We believe in offering value above all else. We believe that we can make an impact with one. You don't need 10 people in your challenge group. If you have one person that says, I need you to help me on this journey, you have an impact that you can make on that one person's life. Walk with them, do it with them, serve them well. I'm going to talk in a little bit about offering value, but in a time like this, you guys, where people are very uncertain about what's to come in their future with their jobs, with their children, with just everything is a big fat question mark right now, and that instills a lot of fear in people. And so what can we do right now? Pour out value. Pour out value like we've never poured it out. Offer as much as we can offer for free without any expectation of anything in return. Just serve others well. The next one, you guys, is we choose to be intentional with our time. I think this is really cool because I didn't really learn this in too many other places. But this intentionality with time pours not just into our personal life or like our self-care world intentionality with time, like, oh, I got to fit in my workout. And it's not just about intentionality with like, oh, I got to do my Beachbody business today. I need to, do my power hour or whatever. But it's everything. It's even the way you're intentional with your time, with your family, your downtime, right? So I wrote, we believe in morning routines that fill our cups and prepare us for the day ahead. We believe dreams take effort and discipline. So when it comes to our business, we work hard and show up to our dreams with focused and intentional action. We are mindful of our time on social media. We treat our business like a business. So when you're on social media because you're working your business, you're not scrolling, right? You're on social media to run a business. We unplug when we are not working our business in pursuit of living well and being present with the ones we love. I love that one. Intentionality with our time, not just intentionality with grinding and hustling, you guys, but I want us to be a team. I believe we are a team that can pave the way to show others how to be intentional unplugging as well, how to be intentional with the people that you're working so hard for. Remember those dreams that we can't just have dreams. We actually have to put action behind the dreams we desire to achieve. But those dreams mean nothing if all you ever do is this action and you don't have any intentional time with the people that you're working for those dreams. Does that make sense? So we want to make sure it's well-rounded. And the last one is you can sweat with us. We believe that we thrive in a positive community, and that environment is everything. Who you surround yourself with, my friends, is everything. We lean in and hang on to the coattails of those who can positively enhance our lives. We capture the enemy of isolation and replace it with collaboration. I feel this a lot in my life, you guys, where I get this enemy of isolation that tells me, retreat back, Brittany. Don't give them so much, Brittany. Don't be friends with that person. You know, like, hold off, right? And my heart gets hardened. I don't want a team of hard-hearted people. I want people who will open up our arms, let others into our lives, collaborate, and refuse to just be isolated. We contribute to our team daily. You guys, not just me, not just people you think are leaders on the team, all of you are welcome to contribute. There's your permission. Permission granted. I don't care if you've been a part of our team for 10 years. Well, we haven't really been around 10 years. 6 years. I don't care if you've been a part of our team for 6 hours. You can contribute. How do you contribute? Share your workout. I got my workout done today. Who else did? Share a quote that you're inspired by. Share a podcast that you listen to. Share a quote from the book we're reading this month. Share. You can just share, right? And the more that you do that, and the more that you show up and other people start seeing your face, now you're building community, right? But if you sit on the sidelines and you wait for other people to share, no one knows who you are in the community. So you have to physically be in the community, right? For it to work. Last one is we attend live events so that we return home refreshed and inspired to take action. And that one's kind of funny right now because I know all live events are stopped everywhere nationwide. So you're like, why do I attend a live event? But when live events are placed in front of you, that opportunity is there in front of you, we attend them. Because we know that when we get face to face, when you can stand there and you can put your arms around your teammates, it's powerful. It changes things. It's not just through a screen anymore. They become your sisters. They become the people that will pray over you. They become the people that will lift you up when you're down. They become the people that will encourage you when you don't have much left. Those are your people. And we thrive when we surround ourselves with those kind of people. And you, just by saying yes and joining our team, just by being a part of Inspire Beauty, you get to do that. You have the power to do that. And so those are our 6 core values that I really, I'm going to be leading with all the time. It starts with me. We pursue progress. We serve others well. We choose to be intentional with our time. And you can sweat with us. And those are the things that I want you to just let sink in your own behavior, but also as you bring people into our team as well with their behavior and what they're allowed to do, right? Some ideas, you guys, like I said, some ideas for free value. Because right now, like, you might be lucky and you might have some people that are like, oh my gosh, yeah, I want to join 10 rounds and this and that. But I think right now, we don't want to be that icky, pushy person on social media. I think right now what people need is someone that just says, here's something that worked for me. Try it for yourself. And so start brainstorming. I wrote some things down, but if you're a teacher, share your plans. There's so many teachers right now all across the country that have to make plans like on a whim. Share what you're doing. Why not? Share ideas, share websites. I shared a resource today on the team page that I found on Instagram. It was like, it was just on Instagram. I didn't, I didn't go digging for it is what I'm trying to say. And it was just a schedule of how, parents could schedule the day out with their kids at home now. And then there were some resources, some websites, some podcasts, some different apps and tools that the kids could be using at home. As easy as I shared that with our team, you could share that with your people. Right? And when I say your people, I mean your followers. Provide value to the people following you right now. Be the one leading from the front. Nurses, all the health tips, right? This is like your time to shine, I guess, right? Moms, self-care in the midst of chaos. Y'all don't have it easy right now. Like the summer break that never ends. Oh gosh. Self-care in the midst of all that chaos, right? Today I was thinking, wow, I work from home and other people are now starting to learn how to work from home. why don't I just start sharing how to work from home better? Because I know it's an adjustment. So if you already know how to work from home, maybe you work from home, or maybe with Beachbody you found strategies for how to also work from home. Share those with your followers. Why not, right? All of us can be sharing inspiration, motivation, positive vibes, free groups, a free water challenge. I'm going to be putting together some resources for you guys this week that you can share with your people in terms of free workouts, but we have sample workouts for all the brand new BOD workouts. And so you could literally share all of those sample workouts, and that could get somebody through at least, 2 weeks without needing to go to their gym. I know here today in Dallas, they just closed all gyms, all bars, and all movie theaters. So people here can't go to the gym, right? So I can share those resources. Yesterday, when I was watching church online, I shared the live stream. Like, share your live stream. Maybe this is a moment where, somebody who's in your feed has never gone to church before, and all of a sudden they're at home with nothing better to do, and all of a sudden they go to church for the first time in their living room. How cool would that be, right? And so you have the power to inspire and influence like positive change in others. But you have to remember, like, that's the choice. It's so easy on social media right now, you guys, to go out there and to just be a part of the negative vibes, the chatter, the frustration, the I'm so mad. Somebody today I saw on my feed, it started with big caps, I'm so mad. Unfollow. Like, so fast, right? Because I refuse to let that be in my feed. I refuse to let that be what's taking up residence in my mind. I've already got enough of it. I don't need Susie Q adding to the mix, right? And so be really protective about what you're allowing to see, but also be protective about what you're allowing to put onto your own feed. Be the light in a time when others might not be. There's one last thing I want to read to you guys before we'll wrap up for the night. Hold on. There it is. And I think it just really encompasses us as leaders. Now, if you don't think of yourself as a leader, you are. You're a leader. If you don't think of yourself as an influencer, you are. We all have the potential to guide someone towards a decision, right? That's a leader. A leader is somebody who's just literally guiding somebody. And guiding doesn't have to be positive. We've all had bad teachers, right? We've all had the good and the bad of everything. And so we learn from it all. But you're all leaders, and you all have the power to influence people right now. And so be mindful of the way you are. So it says, my call to you as a leader. We are in the middle of an unprecedented time right now in our society. There's a global pandemic killing people all over the world, and all our lives as we know them are being disrupted and crippled by the fear that's spreading as a result. As someone that's built a community and a business around the areas of leadership and love, I feel it's very important to share my thoughts with all of you. First and foremost, my prayers are with the people and families that have been and will be affected by this tragedy. I won't for one second act like I know the true severity of what's going on or try and predict how all of this will end up. But one thing I do know for sure is that our way of living will be radically disrupted for some period of time. This isn't some kind of doomsday prediction. I'm just acknowledging the reality that we're facing today. But I believe inside all of this lies a tremendous opportunity for us as leaders. The reason for my message to you today, as a part of our community and as someone that I know wants to impact the lives of others, this is a call to leadership. This is the time as a leader you need to be visible, to be heard. What the world needs right now are people that aren't following the herd, feeding into the fear and anxiety that the mainstream media wants to serve each of us. Our society, the people in your community, your family and friends, most importantly, need to hear a different message from you today. If you are saying the same thing as everyone else, you're not a leader. We all as leaders have an opportunity today to show people what our profession is really about. It's about spreading love, giving people hope. It's about personal growth and having a mindset that allows you to navigate challenges and adversity, not reacting to the world. Your team needs you right now. This is a test for your leadership. You have a responsibility to the people on your team to be a guiding light and calming force. Don't fail this test and don't lose this opportunity to lead. Your team needs to hear from you. They're unsure, afraid, and uncertain what they should be doing during these times. They're looking to you for guidance on how to navigate these rough waters right now. For many of you, this is your first real test as a leader. Anyone can lead when things are going well, and by anyone's measure, the last 5 to 7 years, not much has really gone wrong in the world. It's been an unprecedented time of economic growth, technological innovation, and many of you have benefited in a huge way in your business. Now, as things begin to shift and the uncertainty of change lies ahead of us, this is where we will find out who the real leaders are in this world. I'm sharing all of this with you to remind some of you, like the scripture says, to whom much is given, much is required. Those of you that are in position of leadership right now, I challenge you to rise to the occasion. The world needs you right now. Get on social media, be visible, and be heard. Don't feed the fear that everyone else is peddling. Spread love and share messages of hope. This is an opportunity for you to reveal to yourself as a leader to the world. The inclination will be to hide, to get small. You'll be afraid to say the wrong things. But just remember, this isn't about you. It's about the good you can do in the world for others. It's about being an inspiration and light for others to follow during these dark times. My personal feelings are this. We will get through this. I choose to not feed into the fear that's being spread by mainstream media. In no way does that mean I'm not acknowledging the severity or diminishing the effect it's having on people and our global economy, but I'm acknowledging that I do have a choice in how I respond, and I want you to understand that you have a choice in how you respond as well. And then the mantra for leaders, this graphic that the post was with, says, now is the perfect time to step into my gifts. I am brave, I am creative, I handle challenges with patience and grace. I will look back at this time and feel pride for how I showed up. And it's just that last line, I will look back on this time with pride for how I showed up, that's the rally tonight. That's why I wanted to bring as many of us together as possible. And I just wanted you guys to hear who our team is, what we're grounded in, what we're working towards, and how you fit into all of that. But also that you have a choice that right now, looking back in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, you can look back and say, this is when my business moved forward. This is when I stepped into leadership. This is when I removed fear from the equation. This is when I got bold. This is when I stopped worrying about naysayers, right? And you can say, this is when I really started to come alive in my business. Or you can look back in a year and say, I played it safe. I wasn't the one that stepped up. I could have done more. I definitely fed into the negativity, right? Like, you have a choice. And I want you, complacency too, you guys, is a choice. So don't be complacent. Don't just say, well, I just won't do anything. Either choose to be that light and that love and that inspiration, that example, which is exactly what our team is built upon, or choose the latter, which is not what our team is built upon. And it's not why any of you, I don't think, joined this team and made this a part of your life. So that, my friends, is it. I'm going to hit stop on the record.